This video is an in-depth insight into an intense 48 hours spent relocating a construction business from old to new premises. The move included shipping containers, storage units, offices, a bagging plant, a wheel wash, a weighbridge, and fuel tanks, to name a few. The move started on Thursday, the 4th of July, 2024 at 7 a.m. Now, while planned long in advance, we knew this was going to be a logistical nightmare that required military might and precision. I'm Daniel, and this is Ashville. I want to do as limited crane movements as possible. Yeah. What's going to move is fuel tank, empty. Right. Yeah. The bund, the AdBlue. This is the wheel wash reservoir. We've got to go over to that yard over there. There's someone's dismantling a weighbridge. There's another 4 containers. Then we
2 days already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh mate. Then we got to go over here and get this silo. Then we got to go over there and do all those offices. So we got 1 crane in each yard, and we got a 75 tonner in that yard to offload. Yeah. And then we've got 150 tonner in here to load, and we've got an Arctic with a flatbed running between the two. Right. Simultaneously, we're going to lift today while preparing for tomorrow. On some of the scaffold levels, like going up to my office, there's been checker plate screwed to the scaffold board because it can get slippery when it's wet in the winter months with the mold. So we need to begin to take those up so we could dismantle that scaffold. The workshop area continues to get dismantled, but we're going to stop it because the offices and storage containers over here, these are moving tomorrow. So the immediate need is to get back over there and finish the weighbridge and the archive scaffolding, because those are going to get lifted. Fuel tank, bund, AdBlue tank, wheel wash reservoir, wheel wash. We're going to start, and the 2 storage 20-foot containers here. Yeah. We're going to start with that lot. The crane is going to come in here. Yeah. So he'll tell you where he wants you to be. We're going to clear that whole area first. He's going to park in the yard, so he'll let you know where he wants you. So maybe go into the backyard and turn around and get ready, put on your high vis, hard hat, and come over here, and then we'll discuss it with the crane when it gets here.
No, I jumped in the chat.
Oh, that's a nice crane, isn't it?
Straight down.
Spanker's crane. 1.8 million pounds. Nice, we like that. We've rented 2 cranes for 2 days with the operators. One is 150 ton, which will work in the old yard lifting, and one is a 75 ton. This will offload, stack, and put kit in place in the new yard. The crane company Baldwin's carried out 2 site visits and proposed crane sizes based on the brief I provided. The lift capacity of a crane decreases as the load distance increases. So the closer the crane is to the load, the more it can lift. In the new yard, there was more space and the crane can pull up alongside the loads. So a 75 ton crane was specified and should be capable. In the old yard, there'll be loads which the crane cannot get close to, and the estimated maximum load was 12 tons. Therefore, a 150-ton crane was specified. The driver operator must switch between the bottom cab used to drive and the top cab where the crane is operated. Some cranes have one engine to power both the drive-in and the crane. This particular unit has 2 engines. So the operator hops into the top cab and switches to the second engine to power the crane. The stabilization legs, called outriggers, are extended for support. The pads which the outriggers sit on are extremely heavy, so the crane needs to lift them, slew, and drop them into position. The process of setting up to lift is called rigging up. The foot of the outrigger is raised, the pad slotted in, and the foot lowered.
If you just go round, mate, speak to the guy in the black hat with glasses, he'll tell you where he wants you. Aaron!
The lifting chains are in the crane storage compartment. This crane carries 3 sets: 4 4.25 ton chains, 2 7.5 ton chains, and 2 11.2 ton chains. The operator here is making sure the chains are not tangled.
DJ, close up, please.
We're attaching the hooks on the end of the chains to the corner castings of the shipping container, as they are the structural element which allows the container to be lifted and attached for transport. As soon as the load is lifted, the crane operator can see exactly how much the load weighs via a digital screen within the cab. This shipping container weighs 8 tons. This is communicated to the rest of the team via radio. The strap you can see connected to the bottom corner of the shipping container is called a tagline. This is used to assist the crane and guide the container while it's being maneuvered. We are now trying to line up the corner castings on the bottom of the shipping container to the points on the flatbed, which are called twist locks. This is generally how shipping containers are secured for transport.
You in, yeah? There, go on, keep going. There you go, keep going, keep going. Yeah, I'm in.
Onto 20-foot shipping container number 2, which will be lifted in the same way. This container weighs 6 tons. You will notice the bottom of this shipping container is slightly different, as it's been modified with a subframe so it can also be transported by hook loader lorry. Ben has started the long commute to the new yard. He's pulling in cab first, and the crane operator will tell him exactly where he needs to be positioned. Time to start rigging up the crane. This crane was not originally going to use large pads, but due to the ground conditions in the new yard, the crane operator felt it was necessary. So a van popped back to their yard and brought them round. These are timber, unlike the ones being used on the 150-ton crane in the old yard. They are extremely heavy, so the crane lifts as close as possible to the outriggers, and the team then manually shift them into position. We haven't managed to concrete the area where these 20-foot shipping containers will be as of yet. We just needed them out of the old yard, so we temporarily placed them out of the way. Time for the fuel tank, which is empty. Having fuel inside would have made this process more difficult, as it adds weight and would slosh around mid-lift. Our tank is in 2 parts. Part number 1 is the actual tank where the fuel is stored, and part number 2 is the bund. The bund is secondary containment to stop pollution should the main tank fail and fuel leak. Within the tank there will be sludge made up of rust, dirt and other contaminants which have sunk to the bottom over time. Moving the tank will disturb the sludge and possibly move it to the area of the tank where the fuel is discharged. This can block the pump, lines and cause damage to vehicles and plant. We have 2 filters fitted on the fuel discharge system, so hopefully these will intercept the contaminants and protect our kit. tried to lift the AdBlue tank. It's bonded, but it's plastic, and you could see the metal attachments were pulling away from the plastic. So we've dropped it back down on some timber, and then now we're gonna put straps around it, and we're gonna lift it in a different way so the pressure isn't on those points. Successfully lifted the AdBlue tank with straps. We place it on timber, so when offloading, it's easy to get the straps underneath again. On to the reservoir of the wheel wash. Get this on, Ben, get this one loaded, and hopefully we'll have one loading, one offloading, one loading, one offloaded.
Come on then, down you go.
Like the 20-foot containers, the area is not prepared for the wheel wash, fuel and AdBlue tanks. We just need to get them out the old yard, so the wheel wash is placed out the way and the fuel tank dropped back into its bund on level ground so we can use it with the generator temporarily. Those sides are going to pull out. It's not going to lift the wheel wash. I think these sides...
Right.
These sides are going to pull out, aren't they?
Right, they come out separately, do they?
Yeah. If we wrap the chains around some of these, can we just lift it with the sides on?
What about this here?
Yeah. We have a little problem here in that we cannot remove one of the access ramps. Without disconnecting, we cannot lift the wheel wash. We're trying to remove without causing any damage, but they're being very stubborn.
Go on, keep going. Ramp just wedged. That's it.
Basically where...
You gonna choke it or cradle?
No, just cradles, like that.
Hey. Going straight onto there, yeah?
I don't know if you're going to get it off.
Oh, yeah.
See what's in the middle. All of the fucking deep in there from the sun. You're hanging over the back for me. Yeah. Can do. Yeah. See the sun. Oh, yeah. I know that fucking thing.
The square area protruding from the bottom of the wheel wash is the sump where the return pump sits.
Yeah. Yeah, down the hoist. Keep going. Get up here. Man on the other end, so it weighs 5 tons.
This was the last item in the area we were working in the old yard. So while this is offloading, simultaneously the crane in the old yard is de-rigging and getting ready to move over to the Weighbridge. The de-rigging process and rigging process take around 45 minutes each. This is why we want to move the cranes as little as possible. This is as close as we can get to the Weighbridge and the surrounding shipping containers. team has been working on dismantling and disconnecting the weighbridge all morning, so it should be ready for lifting.
What's the spreader beat then, Aaron? I'll use lifting eyes, but it's going to be way too small. So it's going to jack it up. More boards.
Oh, but he's good for 16.
He is good at on 3 falls at about 9 metre radius. Right. Okay, where would you like your weighbridge placed?
Right here, because it's going to go over there eventually, but the slab ain't down.
There was bringing the weighbridge here. There's still more stuff to bring down. So we have the D-rig and re-rig.
There. All right, the weighbridge ends there. So those, bam, on the floor. The other part of the weighbridge, boom, on the floor. And then the rest we'll just have to lift over it.
uniform load method, it's going to be like that.
No.
So I can't. We need the beam. It's going to be too far angle. Change it to too far angle where you want it.
The team have concerns about the lift of the Weighbridge due to its length and weight, which is around 12 tons. Only using the chains could limit control and could crush or damage the Weighbridge. So we're assembling a spreader beam which will distribute the load and reduce the chances of tipping or bending.
From the other side. That side. Yep. Like that. Look, can you get it? Lovely. Lovely, thanks.
Thanks, Dad. Thank you.
Sound?
Oh.
We left the spreader beam connected to make the offload easier. This 75-ton crane will struggle with this 12-ton load. So we're lifting off the truck and the truck is pulling away to limit the work the crane needs to do. We're also going to offload the Weighbridge office. While this is happening in the old yard, the crane is de-rigging and moving over to the bagging plant. Our bagging plant is bespoke and in 3 pieces. There's a main hopper where the material is loaded, a main feed conveyor, and a bagging hopper with scales. We need to move each part individually and then try to line them up in the same way in the new yard. Back in the new yard while waiting for the bagging plant, the team are building a concrete block platform for our backup water tank while we have access. You may have seen this next to the bagging plant earlier. Tomorrow we plan to move the water tower, which will sit in front of it, so this needs to be completed this evening. In the old yard, the crane was still positioned well to lift the generator. This is the last heavy item in this area which needs to be moved. Currently, there isn't a lorry to load it onto as it's still offloading in the new yard. When it's loaded, the 150-ton crane will make its way round to the offices where it will be lifting in the morning. And the 75-ton crane will offload the generator first thing in the morning. The cranes are staying in our yard tonight, so we should be ready to go at 7 a.m. sharp tomorrow morning. The time now is 22:04 100 hours. That is it for a very, very long Thursday, which is almost a very, very long Friday. See you in the morning. Friday morning, I'm in the yard, day 2 of the big move. Today the weather is not on our side. We're going to start with these offices, beginning with the 2 main offices here, and then we're going to move on to the accounts office and try to make our way in, although I think it's a bit tight. I'm not sure we're going to get in there, but hopefully the crane can reach the very back containers, which we estimate to be around 11 or 12 tons with everything in them. The scaffold is still being dismantled. The crane operator is moving a couple of stillages with tube, clips and sheeting from the top of one of the storage containers. The generator is proving to be a challenge for the 75-ton crane. If you look on the front of the crane, you'll see LEDs in green, amber and red. Green means the crane is comfortable with the lift, amber means it's starting to struggle, and red means the load is too heavy and cannot lift it. To make this make more sense, let's move this one and then move them two. And then we'll come back to this one. We'll move this and them two, yeah? Because they're smaller bits as well, and then people can get in here and clean this out.
As long as we can go down there.
Yeah, the boys are ready, yeah. Need to find a way to get a stillage in here because these clips in them, because I got to break out the concrete around there. Yeah, when you pick this one, I'll bring as soon as this goes up, I'll bring the flatbed, put this on, lift that as you come back over here, lift that stillage over. Sorry, drop the stillage here. Yeah, when he drops the stillage, when the blue stillage is dropped here, all the clips, bam, 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 bam. The first office has arrived in the new yard, but the generator is still not offloaded. We are now reversing closer to the crane to try and reduce the distance by even a few inches, as this could make the difference. need to remove the stairs and the landing before we can lift the training room, which is a 20-foot container. The stairs are simple enough, but the landing is bolted to the container and the support legs bolted to the landing. So we need to attach chains, then start to loosen the nuts and bolts all round. Once the slack is taken out of the chains, the nuts are all completely loosened and the support legs removed. But the bolts between the landing and the container are still in place, so some persuasion will be required. We planned the location of each office and created pads to sit them on. The accounts office is nice and simple as it stands alone. The rest of the offices are all double stacked. Now the fun begins. As these containers are double stacked and too large to both fit on one lorry at one time, it means we need to lift, transport, and offload the top unit, keeping within reach of the crane in the new yard, but not so much so that it will cause an obstruction. Then we need to lift the bottom unit, transport, offload into place, and then lift the top unit again and place it on top of the bottom unit. Sounds complicated, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. While my office is dropped into place, we're trying to prepare a 40-foot storage container for transport, which is surrounded by concrete on one side. But the 1.75 ton digger is not powerful enough. Time is 1:57. We are behind schedule. Both of the main offices from here have now moved to the other yard. The silo engineer is waiting for us, but we need to do as much as we can over here. What I don't want to do is dismantle the crane and have to move it, because then we lose loads of time. We're gonna try and use a bit of Tekkers. After we've removed the top one, we're gonna attach on one side to the bottom one, try to pull it this way. If we yank it this way a little bit, it's not guaranteed, but the crane can do 11.5 ton at this distance. So. We've created a small area for the 40-foot containers to be stored for the time being. They'll be moved again once a concrete base is put in place in the new workshop area. And here comes the rain. I heard everything fall off all the shelves, but it doesn't matter. We pulled it out the concrete. What a result. The rain got so bad it was unsafe to continue dismantling the scaffold, which meant 2 40-foot containers would have to be left for another day. For the last few hours, while we were shifting offices, an engineer was preparing for the cement silo to be lifted. As we're not going on a public highway, we decided not to dismantle the screws, which are the long pipes which discharge the cement. This will save time, but will make the silo move, which was already the most challenging item to lift, even harder. In the new yard, the 75-ton crane moves back over to the area close to the bagging plant to prepare for the silo. The cement silo has too much cement in it to be lifted. While we've been lifting in other areas, the lorries have still been using the silo. Without the silo being operational, we would not have been able to supply our customers with any concrete today. We're not worried about the capacity of the crane, more the lifting eyes on the silo. The silo itself is around 5 tons and the lifting eyes were designed to lift it empty. In the meantime, we're going to move the water tower, which can hold 17,000 litres of water, but is empty. It is a very awkward item to lift and transport. Nearly there with the tandem lift. Crane is on one end, forklift on the other. This unit weighs around 4 tons. The crane is taking all the weight and the telehandler is just helping maneuver it. These these bars here and here connected, when we actually installed it, I never removed them. You're meant to remove them and put them aside and use them for transport. But I thought to myself, if I take them off, I'm going to end up using them into something else or putting them in a scrap bin. So, time to back underneath. Now this is not ideally how we wanted to place the water tower. We'd like it with a huge Ashville A facing the yard so it can be seen. However, this would mean the access stairs would sit over our boundary, a spiked fence, and the main train network, which is very busy. Taking all circumstances into account, safety and common sense have prevailed. We thought we were in the homeward stretch, but then disaster. Telephone lines. Yeah, we're ready. Oh, you got a broom? He's got a broom. Coming in. Slowly. First and foremost, we must not damage them, but must find a way to get underneath safely. We'll find out. The rake's in here. We could see a lot of play in the cables, so decided to try and lift them slightly so the top of the screw could get under them. The team on the ground communicated with Ben and myself as he creeped backward very slowly.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We've got two over. We've got to go really slowly. I need a long piece of 2x1. I need a long piece of 2x1.
slowly. Keep on going. Yeah. Keep on going. Keep on lit, Ben. It's just the motor at the end. Keep going. Hey! Problem solved. Victory is ours. And we broke nothing. As we back up, we realize we have another problem. We've snookered ourselves. The weighbridge we dropped earlier now is in the way of the 75-ton crane getting close to the area where the silo needs to be. And when the silo is in place, the weighbridge will be blocking lorries from reversing up to it. So we are de-rigging the 75-tonner and the 150-tonner is coming from the old yard to assist. First, we're going to put the silo in place and then move the weighbridge to another temporary location.
Watch the face. Good side coming through. That's why I was in a rush that time, isn't it? Yeah.
That was intense. We wanted to create this video to share what it is actually like being in the moment, completely submerged in the activity. As you can see, it is challenging and does take a lot longer than is normally documented. It took planning, preparation, machinery, plant, vehicles, and most importantly, skilled, hard-working, patient people. I would like to thank everyone who took part for all their hard work which made this possible. And believe it or not, this is just one part of the works to set up our new depot. Stay tuned, there's plenty more to come. Thank you for watching.